You're listening to The Edge 88.1, and normally at this time it is me, Robbie, and my partner Dolly, but once again Dolly could not make it. Last week she missed because she had her wisdom teeth taken out, and now this week she has an infection on her wisdom teeth, which honestly I didn't even know was possible, but I guess it is, and I wish her the best, and hope she gets well soon, but that just sounds pretty brutal to me. But anyways, I hope that listening to KDPS is like your second priority tonight, a close second behind the election. Let's see if I can give us some updates on that and what's going on with the election tonight as we find out if Obama will stay president or if Romney will step in, and hopefully I can give you some updates on that. So keep it tuned in here on KDPS, The Edge 88.1. It's 8:22 here on The Edge 88.1. That was She Walks in So Many Ways by the Jayhawks. Sometimes I get random text messages to my phone by some random number that texts me like facts. Just random facts. A lot of random things in this conversation, but facts. I think I signed up for something on the internet and I put in my cell phone number, and so once a week they send me a random fact. And get this, I thought it'd be interesting to tell you guys this fact here. Bananas contain a chemical that makes people happy. It just makes them generally happy. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I talked about it with my health teacher a couple days ago, and she said, yeah, she's heard that. So, maybe it is true. And I didn't know that. I find that very interesting, I know my uncle and my grandpa, when they watch the Iowa football games, they can get very angry. They scream and yell and yell explicit things that I will not repeat on the air. But maybe next time when I go watch a game over at my grandpa's place, I should just bring a basket of bananas to give to them when the Hawkeyes are losing, and they can just be like, instead of angry and yelling, they could just be like, hey, we're losing, but there's always next week, but I don't even think a banana would help them. I know how they are, but I find that very interesting. I never would think that a food just can generally make you happy just like that, just by eating it. But another random fact I got texted to my phone was that a cow, you can lead a cow upstairs but not downstairs. Very interesting. I never knew that either. So if you're ever, on a game show or something like that, and they ask you if that's true or false, you now know the answer, thanks to me. And keep it tuned in here on The Edge 88.1. You're listening to KDPS 88.1. It is 8:40. A couple weeks ago, me and Dolly, my partner, who is not here tonight, were talking about bikers and how they love to bike on the road. Well, I have a great story that happened to me yesterday. Now, yesterday, my buddy and I were driving to the Valley West Mall, and we see these cars getting over to the next lane, thinking there's an accident or something, but it was just a biker. And so we thought nothing of it. We just were like, oh, well, whatever, just another biker on the road. But later, we're at a stoplight, and he decides to go right by everybody, right into the intersection when it's red. And, it turned green when he was in the middle of the intersection, but obviously he didn't think anybody would, run the yellow light, and luckily nobody did. Then we start turning left into the Valley West parking lot, and so is the biker, so we kind of, pass him, and my buddy gives him a little honk. Not a big honk, just a little honk like, watch yourself, what are you doing? And then he decides to cut in front of us, which he shouldn't do. You're supposed to stay behind us like an actual car, but he gets in front of us in the intersection, goes in front of us, just so happens to go in the same, lot that we're going into. So it looks like we're following him, and he all of a sudden stops, gets off his bike, throws the bike down, gets up to our car, and starts screaming at us like we're following him. And there's some, explicit words going on and about some back and forth. Like, he wanted to fight us. Like, he thought we were following him. Like, dude, we gave you a little honk because we thought you were, about to die out there. You need to watch what you're doing on your bike. And he was about to, start trying to fight us. And I'm just like, ugh. So, some bikers need to learn what they're doing. Not all. Some bikers know what they're doing. But keep it tuned in here on KDPS. That was Tightrope by Walk the Moon. A little update here on the election that's going on tonight. Mitt Romney has 50% of the popular vote, and Barack's got 48%. And when it comes to the electoral votes, both of them have 162. So it's definitely going to be pretty close. Nothing's official yet. And I'm sure we'll find out later tonight. I guess I'm not sure, but I'm hoping we'll find out tonight. Something I do know a lot about is fantasy football. So, a lot of you owners out there that, might have Eli Manning, might be looking to trade him, might be looking to drop him, perhaps, because he has been doing absolutely nothing lately. And I have him on one of my teams, and I'm just been very disappointed in him. In most standard leagues, standard scoring leagues, here's how many points he's had the last 4 weeks. 11, 15, 7, 4. Now, Eli's the kind of guy where he is kind of inconsistent, but that's just ridiculous that he's getting less than 10 points in some of these weeks. He's the kind of guy that I think can get 30, and then he could get, 20, but he should be getting at least, 15 a week. And actually this week I'm going to sit him, and I'm going to play Andrew Luck if I can get him off the waivers. And, a lot of people are going to have to be looking for waivers this week because Aaron Rodgers has a bye. I have another league, and I'm prepared for that. I got Rodgers, and I got Big Ben Roethlisberger on the bench, so I'll be putting him in. But if you guys don't have anybody out there on your bench, and you got Rodgers with a bye, I was looking on waivers, some people that might still be available. Josh Freeman of the Bucks has just been... He's been amazing this year. 2 years ago, he had a pretty good year, and then last year he kind of, fell down a little bit, had an off year, and I was like, I'm not so sure about Josh Freeman fantasy-wise, but this year he's looked great. He's got Vincent Jackson as a target, and Mike Williams has been stepping it up, and he's got Dallas Clark as a tight end. He hasn't done much, but he's there. And the last 4 weeks, Freeman's had 24 points, 30, 22, and 18, and Freeman plays San Diego this week, so he might be a pretty good pickup. San Diego doesn't have the best defense. Carson Palmer might be another good pickup. Past 4 weeks, he's had 15, 20, 15, and 31. He plays Baltimore. They got not as good defense as they've had in past years, but with Ray Lewis and Ladarius Webb out, that might not be a bad pickup to try Carson Palmer this week. And then some other guys, just in case those guys aren't available. Joe Flacco, who I'm not too high on, but he is available. He's playing Oakland. He might not be a bad pickup. Flacco, he is kind of inconsistent. He's a hit or a miss kind of guy, but he is playing Oakland, so he might be worth a try. Alex Smith, another guy I'm not too high on, but he plays St. Louis, and he's got some targets. He might be able to do something every now and then. And then Jay Cutler would be your last resort, I think. He's just a guy I wouldn't want to play any week, really, but he plays Houston this week, that's just a last resort. I wouldn't play Cutler. Keep it tuned in here on KDPS The Edge 88.1. That was Lucky Now by Ryan Adams. Let me go over some Week 9 results here in the NFL. On Thursday Night Football, San Diego beat Kansas City 31-13. And the Chargers defense had 2 touchdowns in that game. This will help them to get the win there. Green Bay beat Arizona 31-17. Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns. What else is new? Carolina beat Washington 21-13. Carolina's finally got that win. They were on a losing streak there for a while. Chicago's defense leads them to a big win against Tennessee 51-20. Chris Johnson did have an 80-yard touchdown, but he also fumbled it twice, which is why Chicago's defense went berserk there. Detroit beat Jacksonville 31-14. They're starting to come alive. Denver beat Cincinnati 31-23. Bengals picked off Peyton Manning twice, but couldn't do much with it, which is why the Broncos won that game. The Colts beat the Dolphins 23-20. Houston beat Buffalo 21-9. Baltimore had a close game with Cleveland there throughout the entire game, but they pulled away at the end and won 25-15. Tampa Bay beat Oakland 42-32. Doug Martin was an absolute beast, had 4 touchdowns and over 250 rushing yards. Anybody with him on your fantasy team, I'm pretty sure you won this week. Seattle beat Minnesota 30-20. Pittsburgh came back to beat the Giants 24-20. Mike Wallace had a long touchdown. Big Ben Roethlisberger had a big game, but they might be hurting next week. Antonio Brown got hurt in that game and may not play next week. Dallas lost to Atlanta on Sunday Night Football 19-13. And the New Orleans Saints beat the Philadelphia Eagles last night on Monday Night Football. As the Eagles, get this, they were in the red zone 5 times, didn't score a touchdown at all in the red zone. They had to settle for 2 field goals on 5 trips to the red zone. And the woes just continue for them. And that's your results for Week 9 here in the NFL. Keep it tuned in on KDPS The Edge 88.1. You're listening to KDPS 88.1. That was Middle Finger by Cobra Starship featuring Mac Miller. And before I sign off and leave you guys for the night, I got one more story for you. Bullying is really, quite a problem nowadays. I think it's pretty well known that it is. And, so I got a story about bullying. And this is actually kind of a heartwarming story. It really is. So there's this girl that recently went to a new high school in Arizona, and she has a brain disorder, some brain disorder. And, as quickly as she's enrolled into the school, she starts getting bullied. I guess she's just the easiest to pick on and, doesn't really stand up for herself, so people just find it easier to pick on her. And, people were started throwing trash at her, and she's 16 years old, and she's a freshman, and she starts getting picked on at this new school in Arizona. And the mother, immediately, tries to contact the school, and she talks to the one person that she does kind of know is the senior quarterback for the football team at the high school. Just to kind of stick up for her a little, and if he sees anything, just to kind of stand up for her. And he takes it to the next level, and he gets the entire football team to, stick up for this girl and walk with her in the hallways and make sure people, kind of back off. And basically they're all just great friends with this girl now, and she's hanging out with the football team all the time. And, the quarterback says it's a great experience, as much as it's a great experience for her, it's a great experience for them too. And it's just a very heartwarming story that, it's usually a stereotype that the football kids are the bulliers, and in movies and music or whatever and everything, people kind of say that the football team are the bulliers, but that's not true. Not at this school, anyways. They completely stand up for this girl, and like I said, it's a heartwarming story. So until next time. Keep it tuned in here on KDPS 88.1, and hopefully next week my co-host Dolly will be back. I think we're a pretty good team together, and hopefully she'll be back next week, and we'll have a good show. So keep it tuned in here on KDPS 88.1.